Hello everybody and welcome to another A+ 1101 video with a practice quiz at the end. This time we're focusing on objective 5.5 where I'm going to go through every single sub dot point within the primary dot point within this exam objective with you and make sure you know everything you need to know about this and then give you those questions to give you the confidence you need to smash your exam and walk in there knowing that you're ready to conquer this one. So without any further ado, let's get into it with the first little component, poor battery health. So batteries lose their capacity the more you charge them, right? So the more you charge a battery, the more it's going to lose its capacity to maintain the same amount of charge that it originally had the first time you ever had it. Now, before I go any further, I just want to note, I should have at the start, this is specifically relating to mobile devices, right? Mobile devices. You can save the battery by reducing the services that your phone uses. Turning on airplane mode is a good example of this. So you might get a question in your exam that says something like, Bradley is having his phone run out of battery consistently. What is something he can do to save his battery while he is out? He can turn on airplane mode. That might be an example. Now, of course, he could also make sure there are no open applications and things to that effect, but that's just one example of something that you could potentially do. The less your phone is doing, the better. Airplane mode gets rid of a lot of battery intensive operations. So that's something that you can do to save battery. Although, of course, the con of that is now no one can contact you. So you got to weigh that up. A swollen battery is a very, very serious issue. If your phone is being puffed out, it's likely due to a swollen battery, which looks like this on the screen here, as we can see. Now, if this is the case, do not touch it. It's very dangerous. There's a buildup of gas within the battery. The general advice and the advice you need to know for your exam is that if this happens, you'll need to completely replace the battery as it is no longer safe to use. In fact, you shouldn't touch it and you should contact a professional. Don't touch it, don't hold it, don't open it up to try to see what's inside. Don't touch it, right? Do not touch that. Leave it to the professionals. It's dangerous territory. If you have a broken screen, it will need to be replaced. And if the damage is significant enough, perhaps the entire device will need to be replaced. Now, sometimes it's not necessarily that the screen has to be replaced. Sorry, that the screen is so damaged that it's damaged the device, but sometimes it's the case that replacing the screen is so expensive that you're actually just better off buying a new device. It can be that pricey, right? So try to take care of your screens, I suppose, right? You should be sure to be careful for your exam. This is really what we need to get at here. You should be careful when handling a device with a broken screen to avoid cutting yourself. So, be very cautious with handling this device and just be ready to replace the device or replace the screen as necessary. Improper charging. If you're plugging cables into your phone, but it's just not charging, there's a few things that could be causing this. So, of course, first of all, make sure the cable isn't damaged and that it is plugged in properly. So if you have a damaged cable, as we see here, that's probably going to stop you from having the correct charging occurring. And if it's not plugged in, of course, that's going to be a problem, right? You should also check that the wall socket is supplying the correct amount of power. You can use a multimeter to do this. That's popped up a few times across these videos, right? So a multimeter is key. You need to know what that does. You're measuring the power output coming out of the wall outlet, making sure there's actually power coming out of there in the first place. If you're not having any connectivity or you're having really poor connectivity, it can be caused by your location. You might just need to move somewhere with better service. Your level of connectivity is often displayed at the top of your screen. You can see it right here, right? The amount of bars you have. We're all very familiar with that, I suppose. And you should try moving closer to the access point if we're looking at Wi-Fi specifically, in order to get better connectivity, or going outside if we're looking at cellular activity, right? Cellular service. So just understand those basic concepts. Now, liquid damage. There is a small sensor inside your device that if it detects any sort of contact with liquid, it will actually change color. So if you are trying to return a device because it's not working, but you actually just dropped it in the toilet while you're doing a pee-pee, then the company that you send your device to is going to be able to see that actually he dropped it in liquid. This is not covered under warranty. So sorry, we can't do anything for you, right? You're going to have to pay for all of the repairs yourself. So be aware of that if you're going to try to scam anyone. There's a sensor in there that does change color if it comes in contact with liquid. That's how they can tell if your device has come into contact with liquid. If your device suffers from liquid damage, you should power it off and avoid touching it. Wait at least one day in order to allow the device to dry out completely, right? So that's generally what you're going to need to know for your exam. Particularly pay attention to the sensor inside the device and understand that concept there. Overheating, again, as with all of the recent exam objectives, if overheating occurs, the system's going to shut down, right? The system is going to shut down if it gets too hot. You can track which apps are responsible for the most CPU utilization and therefore contributing to overheating. Often, it's going to be things like maybe there's an issue with airflow within the device. Maybe you're leaving it in a hot location, things to that effect. Maybe you've just been using it too consistently. But again, yes, you can track what apps are using the CPU the most and potentially contributing the most to that overheating issue. If you're having issues with your digitizer, first of all, we should know what a digitizer is. It was from, I think, Exam Objective 1, way back, right? If your touchscreen capabilities are not working, you can try turning the device on and off again. So we're talking about touchscreen because digitizer is what allows for touchscreen capabilities. You should be familiar with how to turn multiple devices on and off. I'd hope we can figure that one out, right? I'm sure we're capable of figuring out that. Basically, just understand that if you are having issues with your digitizer, then you may need to turn the device on and off. We'll get more specific with that in a second. Where is it? Here we go. I'll do this one now just because it's more relevant. So relating to the digitizer, you might also have cursor drift / touch calibration. So if your cursor is not accurate, you're trying to use the digitizer, but it's like tapping in the wrong place, you can simply calibrate your device, right? So that is an easy solution. Just go to the settings, go calibrate, and that will fix that for you, okay? So that's related to the digitizer there. Now, physically damaged ports. If your port is damaged, it can, of course, stop cable-related functions from working because you can plug the cable in, but the port's not working properly, so the cable therefore won't be able to do its job. If a port is damaged on a mobile device, you'll often need to replace the motherboard entirely. Unfortunately, it can sometimes be difficult to replace just the port itself, so it can be a little bit pricey there. Try to take care of your ports is the message there, I suppose. Malware. If your device has CPU usage, despite you're not doing anything, you're not really using anything, it might be due to malware running in the background. It could be creeping around, doing tasks in the background, trying to hide it from you. Look for apps that you don't remember installing, pop-up messages, large data transfers, and high CPU usage and excessive battery use. These can all be signs that will point you to the culprit. You should scan with a malware scanner if you suspect malware. Who would have guessed? All right, so that's mostly it. If your device is having lots of usage, but you're not actually doing anything, that could be an issue that you might want to look into malware there. Now, time for some questions, but before we get to the questions, here's a quick word from our sponsor for today. Hey guys, I'm just here to tell you that the A+ 1101 learning package with the practice exams, the learning guide that people are absolutely loving, and the performance-based question simulation is on sale for the next 3 days, and that is on sale for $50. So you're getting $25 off only the next 3 days. If you want that, go grab it. All right, let's go back to the questions. Alrighty, let's get straight to it with the first question. Your computer has been exhibiting unusual behavior such as high CPU usage despite no active tasks, unexpected pop-up messages, and excessive battery drain. What potential issue could be causing these problems, and what steps should you take to address it effectively? A. The problem is likely due to a broken screen on your computer, and you should replace the screen to resolve the issue. B. Your computer's cursor drift and touch calibration are misconfigured, leading to inaccurate cursor movements. Calibrating the device should fix the problem. C. Your computer may have a malware running in the background, causing high CPU usage, pop-up messages, data transfers, and excessive battery use. Scanning with a malware scanner and removing any suspicious apps is recommended. Or D. The issue is related to poor or no connectivity, which can disrupt normal computer operations. Try moving closer to the Wi-Fi access point or going outside for better connectivity. Pause the video if you need more time. We'll get straight to the answer in 3, 2, 1. Make sure you've paused it if you need more time. Here we go. C. Your computer may have malware running in the background, right? So that was one of the more recent ones we went over. Hopefully we got that one right. Question number 2 reads, your smartphone has suddenly stopped functioning and you suspect it might be due to liquid damage. What are some common signs and symptoms of liquid damage in electronic devices, and what immediate steps should you take to potentially mitigate the damage? A. Signs of liquid damage include a broken screen and overheating. To mitigate damage, you should carefully handle the device to avoid further harm. B. Liquid damage is indicated by poor battery health and cursor drift. To mitigate damage, you should replace the battery and recalibrate the cursor settings. C. Signs of liquid damage may include a sensor turning a particular color and the device shutting down unexpectedly. To potentially mitigate damage, you should power off the device, avoid touching it, and allow it to dry out completely. D. Liquid damage is characterized by poor or no connectivity and swollen batteries. To mitigate damage, you should move closer to the Wi-Fi access point and replace the battery. Pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to head straight into the answer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. C, signs of liquid damage include a sensor turning a particular color and the device shutting down unexpectedly. To avoid damage, you should power off the device and allow it to dry without touching it. Okay, so hopefully we got that one right. We really drilled down on that one before the questions there. I'm confident you guys got that one right. If not, go review the video. Next question reads, your tablet's touchscreen is experiencing accuracy problems, with the cursor often not aligning correctly with your taps. What might be the potential cause of these digitizer issues, and what steps should you consider taking to troubleshoot and resolve the problem? A, the digitizer issue is likely due to a malfunctioning battery, and replacing the battery should improve touchscreen accuracy. B, these issues are caused by overheating, and you should clean the tablet's cooling system to resolve the problem. C, potential causes of digitizer issues include software misconfigurations or calibration errors. To troubleshoot, recalibrating the touchscreen and checking for software updates are recommended. D, the touchscreen inaccuracies are a result of poor connectivity, and moving closer to the Wi-Fi access point should rectify the problem. Pause the video if you need more time. 3, 2, 1, here we go. C, right? So potential causes of digitizer issues include software misconfigurations or calibration errors. To troubleshoot, recalibrate the touchscreen and check for software updates, right? That's what you can do for that. Hopefully we got that one right there. Now, if you found this video useful, over at journeytocyber.com, I do have my learning guide, my 5 practice exams and performance-based question simulation right here. Let's have a look at what people are saying about my learning guide here. They say, your notes helped me pass my test today. They say the guide is really good. It helped make everything a lot clearer. Your guide is goated. It helps with organized information. That's what I try to do here. Organize information in an efficient manner so that you don't end up paying a lot of money for something where you're just like, what am I even learning about? I downloaded your learning guide. I can see that it will help immensely. I tried some other resources but struggled absorbing the material. Now, I have my learning guide. I also have my 5 practice exams with performance-based questions. 5 practice exams with performance-based questions, all there for you, ready to go. And as I said, my performance-based question simulations, where you can click on the buttons and actually make sure you're ready to do those performance-based question components of the exam. So if you get the whole package at the moment, it's $25 off, and that's Australian dollars. So if you're in the US, that's like double cheap, right? To you guys, that's nothing. That's chumps change, right? So take advantage of that. You'll be super prepared for performance-based questions. You'll be super prepared by doing, if I can learn how to speak, by doing the 5 practice exams, and you'll be super prepared by doing the learning guide, for going through all the activities in order of exam objective, broken down super specifically. So if you want that, that's there for you. If you don't, I'll see you in the next video. We're so close, guys. We're so close. I can't even believe it. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.